Piero momoye, moye, Piero momoye, ato Piero ji avere, Piero momoye, ah Piero we, ndato Piero sopra no seide, ato Piero ji avere, akosia o, moye, Piero momoye, bosa bosa iko momoye, Piero ji mo were, mangoye mo, ah Piero ji mo were, mangoye mo, Piero we, baby. Ha, Piero, Piero, momoye, moye, Piero, moye, Piero, moye, Piero, Piero, ba. La poche yo Piero, soy no dunia mon blé amando let's appeler. Diamant qui bagnonné, ma waja qui bagnonné, ja, plebone na kanyopo. Siabu tiena, de kanywe, kanyon de koge, se pradi pleya. Piero momoye, moye, Piero momoye, moye, Piero momoye, Ogiarwa, Oyawesa, moye, Jibla, no pigeon boba, Yerbono, ma moye bleye, Piero we, Piero momoye, mon blé condition. Pierre mon de production assez au clano ya wa ke lo mu lo ko je Piero moye Piero moye Piero moye Erico na Piero moye ah Charlico na Piero moye a to Piero moye ah, Piero we, ah, Piero we, moye, Piero moye, Erico jato Piero mare bomo jato Piero Erico jato Piero mi amo daka, yo jale ko ye nyobo pa, opa bla ye de nyani ye ble bra kitchen, dia o anade bro aja be atia. Nyoro gbade ki abudi ye ono homono ne ka double ye so bo so mo so ble so danyo paseble asenyo na yeta esa ye dibo sanere e to Piero jawe ke to Piero point so we ke to Piero iwa mo kaya no e ka sene la taya mo la osiane to Piero ki agba ile papa ko ya o a to Piero moye Piero momoye, Piero momoye, Gayo padewe, nebo kango, Gayo padewe, nebo kango. Ah, tidieji, ah, tidiewe, ah, mara tidie me o, ao. Upa karito kwenye tawake, asa o mande. Piero momoye, Piero momoye, Piero momoye, ese Sonia Routier, ase o. Mama sableye Angela Wene, e bobo pambla brille Angela Wene, nama bobo pambla brille Angela Wene, Angela Dio, machaba ke yo, daria Dio. Moye Angela momoye, ah mama bo kembla, ya mama kembla de, weye wu. Ah, je sais ma Jackie, mama je sais ta nekido. Handa Nicola, me botia, manda Nicola yedu taniaji. Nicola bleto yamo, oju achie. Na ipo de wenje. Mla wenyo mla jiri agia, agiaro. Moye, Piero moye. Piero moye, ale, moye.
Again, folks, Sam Sinto, I want to thank all of you again for tuning in tonight. We're going to have fun here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry about not turning the sound on immediately. The young age is creeping up on us here as well. Thank you, folks. Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio. I want to welcome all of you again tonight, and let's have fun together because this is what we're going to do here on LIBERIA Public Radio. Folks, we will be having our show yet tonight, but before we do that, first of all, let us go ahead and continue to thank God for his mercy, and thank God that we're all here again tonight to say thank you, Jesus. Thank you for your mercy. Continue to have mercy on us with this disease that has no bound. Please, please guide us so that we will be safe. Only you that know which way the light, true light is, and those of us that believe in you will follow the true light. In that regard, I ask you to please continue to bless all of us. Bless our nation. Bless our leader as well. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Folks, Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio. We're a little bit late here. But I will go ahead and start the show as usual, late or not. Let's see. We have with us now the President of the Republic of Liberia, Dr. Weah, duly elected. 65.1%. No, 61.5%. The more I do it, the more I want to get more number. 61.5%, folks, elected President of the Republic of Liberia. And we respect that. We respect our brothers and sisters, their vote. We don't agree with it, but we have to respect it and live with it. However, we will also take opportunity from time to time to criticize and make sure we do so with responsibility. That I've always asked. Don't say something if you don't have proof. And if you're saying it, if you want Liberians to benefit from your ideas, if you want Liberians to benefit from your accusation by showing proof, you must also do so with respect. You cannot, even if the person's hand is cut in a cookie jar, you can't cuss him. Let the law and the Liberian people's judgment take precedent. You expose and let the Liberian people make the judgment. You don't expose and become a judge and a jury and then hanging the man before the even trial starts. We don't do that. Sam Sinto, Mose, Goa, thank you very much. The music that just played, if you go on YouTube and type Nathaniel Cry, Krayeee, if you type his name, you will find so many music under his name, and you'll be able to just get about any type of music you want that is of the cry tribe. You will be able to get it. He usually posts those things up. Okay, let's go. So let me know tonight, Monday afternoon. Why not? Of course, we have to work tomorrow, but why don't we have fun here as well? Let's now watch Dr. Weah during the election, walking in the mud of the Republic of Liberia with his first lady. The first lady of the Republic of Liberia was also campaigning at the time in the mud of Liberia, in the forest of Liberia. This is very, very interesting. I thought that was wonderful of the First Lady, not only canvassing for vote by staying in Monrovia and getting on radios and saying, my husband will do this, my husband will do that. No, she was ahead campaigning. And you will see that from the video, ahead in the forest. Mosquito or not, she was there campaigning, believe in her husband, and believe that he can deliver. Campaigning. And let me play that video. Now, whether he's delivering or not, that's a different subject matter. And I don't mind going into that. But I'm just saying what was happening at the time. Thank you. Sam Sinto, LeBron Public. Let's go ahead and play this.
No, I beg you.
I'm going to go ahead and knock it out of the way and get this part of the Supreme Court, according to the story, have ordered the resumption of the Root FM petition to be sent back to the court, lower court, for the argument, because the lawyer of Root FM want the case dismissed, and away from all the indication, they have the case under control. The government has nothing. And if you have been following the case like I have, you will understand. I'm not a lawyer. So I'm not speaking from a lawyer perspective. I'm just speaking from a layman perspective. The case went to the lower court from the beginning. And the lower court, before they asked the lower court for judgment, in fact, they asked the lower court for raid to go and do search and seizure. They went over and collected Root FM, all of their equipment, and took them. So the judge said, bring them to court. Anyway, the Root FM manager at the time, Mr. City, okay, went and filed a petition to the court that the people have no standing, the government have no standing, he wants his stuff back. They were arguing. Why? See, it was a very funny case from the beginning. And these people got nothing. They got nothing. The better turn is people think, let Roof FM get back on air. They have nothing. They were arguing that Fidel's city, who filed on behalf of Roof FM, their argument, the government argument was, he wasn't giving. This is how audacious these people are. Just when Kwame said, "Mama, you got draft, that real draft the government were playing at that time, real draft." They said, "But when and let me go into the real English now, the real lawyer English that we're in now." The people say the government were arguing. The government arguing in the court was this: "Okay, Fidel, thank you for fighting, but who gave you the power?" The Fidel and his person, what? I'm a manager, station manager. What do you mean, who gave? Oh, okay, yeah, we know he's station manager, but the board of director gave you the power, and if so, where is the board meeting? The meetings from the board that gave you the power to do what you're doing here. They're not arguing about his petition to dismiss. That wasn't their argument. They say he doesn't have no standing. Although they recognize that he's the station manager of Roof FM. But that he doesn't have no standing because this argument was the board has not given him the permission. If the board did, where is the meetings? Man, what kind of total lawyer company? I better give people their thing. Let them go back on business there. I got nothing. I got nothing. So anyhow, the first judge that was in there said these people got standing. Blah 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 blah. They removed the judge, sent him to somewhere else. They brought new person in. Liberia justice at its best. See, this is on a very serious note. When you do these kinds of stuff as a government, especially executive, when you try to meddle into the affair of the judiciary, you are going into another area that you have no responsibility over. These people are just as powerful as you are. This is the third branch of the government. You're meddling into their affair, going in, appointing people to replace the judge that made the decision that you are not satisfied with. What kind of business is this? And you expect us to move forward? This is ridiculous. This case is ridiculous. So anyhow, they removed the judge. So they went to Supreme Court. Now, today, according to the rules, Supreme Court just say, take that case back to the lower court, man. Man, y'all come waste our time. Let the people argue, and let the argument go the way they're supposed to go. So they're going back to the lower court. Victory, number one. You understand? Now, on a very serious note, in a series of cases, I'm not too sure who's bringing any case against these people. Yeke Koluba, victory check. The other young man, Manikapa, Dumoy, victory check. Yeah. Sharif, Madam Salif's son. They dropped the case, victory check. Government, where they turn now, all our money you're spending, what time we'll get something small now so we can dance a little bit. All the people you're spending the money going against to prosecute, they go, victory check. Yeah, victory check. They just checking victory. When you going to check this one victory now? You want to talk, they got one. The defense minister. Okay, government victory check. Out of what? 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5. 1 victory check, 4 gone out. Roof FM is getting ready to do victory check. Roof FM is getting ready to do that on there. Okay? So the point is, and let me talk while I'm turning my, what kind of total man, time a day, a cold a day, you can put air conditioner on? You think you total, what on you? Man, I beg you, man. Turn the air conditioner on, man. What on you? What kind of business is? All right, folks. Samson told I drop a radio. It got too cold for me here, so I got to come out and put the air conditioner on. But anyway, let's get back. Let's get back to the show. That's the beauty of the kinds of instrument we get. And we go all over. But on a very serious note, let's go. I got to go back again one more place first. Samson told I drop. In fact, let me do this while I'm leaving.
T'as des tomates et t'as des jeunes. Mais le Gondiola, le Gondiola, voilà le Gondiola, le Gondiola, le Gondiola, le
Sorry, apologize. But anyway, let's go on. So, victory all over this place against the government, and now you have the Roof FM. They're going back to argue, and according to the story, very interesting. You can go and read on Front Page Africa. Very interesting story. And I'm not too sure who's bringing the case. I'm not a lawyer, but in my own field as an engineer, I put a road down, and then all of a sudden it rains, and the road is washed out. Okay, maybe I didn't do a hydraulics calculation properly. Okay, maybe I didn't do a correct profile that will give me the bottom of the hill where I can park all my water and drain it out of that. Maybe I didn't do a good. Okay, then I go and do another road again. This time I ain't even wash out. The water fall on the road, all over the road, flooded. What kind of business is? What happened? Okay, maybe because they flooded, because the area where the water is supposed to go, I decided to have my road go underneath the water, so that when it rains, the water go over it. You see where I'm going with this thing? So I'm not too sure who's bringing these cases. Okay, but back to Roof FM. According to the story, the judge, the new judge, he said, whoa, you're bringing the thing in. When you're bringing it, the old judge got to come and let him give us his intent why he made that ruling. Now the government said, okay, when I bring it back, we accept that ruling. We accept the station manager have standing. However, their broadcast and everything else was dangerous to the country. They were undermining the security. We not undermining security before. They say the man got standing, so he didn't got anything. Now they say the man got standing. Okay, the man got standing, but their broadcasting is undermining security. Man, my people, you're big here, man. You might not do the kind of thing to us, man. You closing Roof FM down, saying that their statement and broadcasting is undermining security. And you have a young man, and I'll deal with that Wednesday. You have a young man insulting the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. Not only that, the man has this recent broadcast that he had put the lives of a finance minister in danger by accusing the finance minister of undermining the government, the same government that he served in. He accusing the finance minister of undermining the CDC-led government. Why some other people in CDC say, oh, we can't take that, and they decide to take law into their own hand? And this young man, the radio station is still operating. What is the difference? What is the difference there? And you want us to take you serious, man? You got to do something better, man. You got to do something better. This is not the way things supposed to go. You accuse Roof FM of inciting people, and here is the other young man. He was here the other day telling the vice president life history publicly, what the vice president did and what she didn't do. Nobody said anything. He went back again. I myself, I'm not in favor of Mr. Tua leading the finance ministry. I want him out. But I want him out based on his performance. Not to accuse him of undermining the government. You know what that is? When you accuse somebody of undermining the government, that means you're bringing instability in the country. And we don't hear anything from any of the government officials. He went on and on. I will deal with that Wednesday. Why would we have that? And then you come out and say you want Roof FM closed? And even you see, this is something that the third branch of the government, they're human beings themselves. They're watching you. 1 minute you say Roof FM is too rude. They curse people. They do this. They do that. They want to bring violence in the country. On the other hand, you have the government mouthpiece. The guy himself publicly has been stating over and over that he's a strong supporter of this government. And he has identified enemy of the state, enemy against this government. who, in the person of Samuel Twe, undermining the government of the Republic of Liberia. A sitting minister of finance, that the international community will be dealing with and continue to deal, in fact, been dealing with it over and over. A radio station owned and operated by a deputy person, somebody who is a deputy, somebody for the national security owns a radio station, and this station is broadcasting, informing the Liberian people that Samuel Twe is undermining the government of the Republic of Liberia. Now, this radio station is owned by someone who is also part of the government. Even if you don't like Samuel Twe, why will you not try to have him dismissed based on poor performance? But instead, you're going to make him to be part of the, whatever you guys come up with, enemy of the state. You're putting Samuel Twe lives in danger without you realizing. This is unfair for Mr. Twe, and this is not the way a government mouthpiece should be talking about its own people. But you guys can do that. The only thing I'm saying is he's a human being. You can't put another human being's life in danger. You can argue that Mr. Twe is unable to perform, which I have. And I too want Mr. Twe to leave. I want Mr. Twe to be replaced. But not because he's an enemy of the state, or not because he's undermining. Who am I to say Samuel Twe is undermining the government? What proof do I have? And if you have a proof, why will you not bring it up for the Liberian people to see? Instead, you said Mr. Twe is paying Mr. Manikapa Dumwe. Where is it coming from? Folks, this is something that we just find it difficult to believe sometimes. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. So right now, all I'm saying is, let me go back, let me review a little bit. Was Yaga Koruba, victory, check. Manikaka Dumwe, victory, check. Against the government, no. What is it? Tyler, the former speaker, and his people, victory, check. Who else? Charles Salif and his people, victory, check. Government, victory. Against the former defense minister, victory, check. You see how I do that one there? I say check. I say check. I say check. You know what it looked like? And I have a video I'm going to be playing there here. Back when I was in Town, going to school, at the end of the school year, everyone will come out to the auditorium. The mother, the father, at night. And then they go, the principal, come and call your name. Samson Tall, and the whole place go quiet. As dull as I was, Samson Tall, history 25, math 30, and it will go on all the F. Therefore, Mr. Samson Tall is bound to repeat the grade of, and woo. Then they call the other person, the smart people like J.K. then. James W.K. Math 99. G.W.K. History 88. And they will go on with all his good grades. Therefore, Mr. K is no longer able to attend Toll Memorial Institute because he has attained the grade of 7. And if you flunk, the entire BI children know that something to him pass. You can't go lie, you say he passed. It's the same thing here. So, folks, that particular night, when of course I passed my grade, but what it did to me, and I went to her, I did a video, I'm going to play it one day. So, there's this one girl, I think I told you guys this story before. I'll tell it before I move on. There's this one girl that I have interest in. Hello, baby. Gideon, your mom sleeping? Yeah, I think she's sleeping. I can tell my story. You think I'm stupid? They don't close. But I want to make sure the wife's sleeping. I'm coming to tell my story. She's sleeping. Anybody call her? Alfonso, don't call her. Anybody call her, I will bring her. So anyway, there was this one girl that I have interest in. So I wrote her a letter. And I know many of you have done similar stuff. I did a letter. I told her how I love her like fish love water. I can't go without her. Because of her, I got pumpkin oil. I got to rub it on myself to shine. I wrote all I wanted. There was a guy that was in town called Dixon Quinwan. He was a good friend of the dictionary. I mean, he knows all the words. So when I want some big word, I go in there. I talk to him. I gave what, maybe 5 cents, 6 cents. He gave me one good word. I put it in there. So anyway, I gave the paper to one of my cousins called John Sherrill. So John Sherrill was coming back from my cousin farm one time, and he decided to knock one of the fish because there's the water in the creek called tar. We can't eat the fish. And when you get there, catfish, hundreds of them. You gotta, when you're crossing the crossing the creek, you gotta do your hand like this or stick like this to move all the catfish. You can't eat them because that's the law. But anyway, he hit one of them. So we went home. I told one of my uncle. So he got mad. He had my letter because you were supposed to give it to this girl, and he went and gave it to the principal. So the principal, just within that time, was supposed to have the graduation stuff, and they asked me among over 300-400 people for me to read my letter. That was today. They draft it. Nothing can move me. I said, okay, y'all give me the letter. I started reading the letter. How I love her and how I love fish, love water, all kind of junk. But from that point on, I was rebel. Nothing can move me. But it was so petrifying. You can't do the kind of thing. Up to this time, I'm almost like 80, 90 years old, and I'm still remembering that. And as I'm talking to you right now, my palm is sweaty. I'm still petrified as I'm talking to you about that. My palm is sweaty right now, folks. And you say self-centered. I'm telling you the true story, total story, folks. Later on in Monrovia, when I became big boy, and one of the big boy EJ Rock kid, this young girl, I met her in Monrovia, but by that time, the separation was just too wide. She didn't continue with education. She got married in the village, and so when she came to Monrovia, by that time, like I said, the separation between us was just too wide. There was nothing there. So anyway, that's that story. But anyway, let's go on. And this is exactly what I have done with the government tonight. The government had one victory. The rest, choo, 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 choo. So let's go on. Let me go on to my next, and one. That's the story about Roof FM, and I pray that Roof FM will get back on air. And let me make the point. I don't agree with the way Roof FM broadcasts their stuff, but that's their business. That's not mine. I can't tell Roof FM how to broadcast and what to say and what not to say. Okay? They have the right. But what I'm going to say about Roof FM, Roof FM, watch and see, wants to come back on air. you will find that Liberians will gravitate toward that station more than ever. Because Roof FM and its talk show host, Mr. Custer, for me, they continue to do good in Liberia. I don't agree with the way Custer broadcasts his show, but the information, the message that comes out of that show, very important. If I were a member of the government, especially at the higher level with people like if I were part of the inner circle of Dr. Weir, I would listen to Custer's show every day because he will give me information who's doing bad in my government. And then we can deal with that. But you go and take Custer on the Roof FM and knock them off the show, and then you think you go. People do things that they're not supposed to do. You heard the other one? Charles Sharif suing people because he believed while he was having issue with the government, people are taking $700,000 from his account. Anyway, folks, Samson told LeBron Pabrito, let me go ahead and change gear here this afternoon. I can't see it well. Okay. Corruption. Mama Africa. Corruption in Liberia. This guy is laughing about my story. I bet you I'm not alone. But corruption in Liberia. Mama Africa is crying for these people. Corruption in Liberia, on a very serious note, it's been with us for a very long time. For me, corruption is not necessarily taking money and using it for yourself. Basically, anything that's supposed to be coming to a certain group, and you use that, you use your power to deprive what's supposed to come to people. You deprive them of their rights because the power. That's corrupt behavior. So my definition of corruption, just as the liberal, is broad. I'm not a conservative with a narrow-minded view of things. I have a broad view perspective on a lot of stuff. Corruption is one of those. But on a very serious note, let me read something here very quickly, and I'll continue to read this. I think I'm going to be doing that now every time I open my show. This is the third annual message delivered by Dr. William R. Tubber, the late president, William R. Tubber, back in 1974. Many of you, perhaps, that are listening to me right now were not even born at the time. Okay? And I'm just telling you, corruption, perhaps, yeah, you're getting younger now, so your eye open with a lot of things, so you think, no, corruption, it starts just now. It starts from way, 19 Charlie King time. Okay, no, even way past that, Joseph Jenkins Robert time. That one corruption started in Liberia. But let me read it on a very serious note. And what I'm going to be doing here, I want you to pay attention, and you will find how confused our brothers and sisters were at the time. And Tubber in this speech demonstrated the confusion among themselves, amongst the elite. And let me read that, and I'll point that out to you. I want you to pay attention here. And I'll go a little bit farther tonight than I did before. He said, this is the Ministry of Local Government, Rural Development, and Urban Reconstruction. Okay. We shall continue to dedicate our services to the welfare of all the people, especially the less fortunate majority. I want you to underline that word, majority. Less fortunate majority. That means in Liberia, few people were fortunate. Majority of Liberia were less fortunate. Do you understand that? Okay. And we shall remain unrelenting in our determination to improve their lot. They're going to help the elite. They're going to help the least fortunate majority. But here's the confusion from their perspective. Okay? In our effort to do this, we have to visit remote area of the country which long neglected. Now, What Tobo is not telling you here, that these people that is long being neglected, according to him, were also paying taxes. Corruption goes deep into our fabric. It runs in our blood. You can take me out of here right now, and I bet you it probably won't even take long for me to be a corrupt person as well. I'm a Liberian. Now that sounds to be a ridiculous statement, but that's what we do. Look, just no, I'm not beating around the bush here tonight. You want to tell me our brothers and sisters that also used to be here, steady in this country, steady in the European world, all over, working in the banking institution, will never one day got caught stealing people money. But when they get to Liberia, they want profit. They want things for themselves. What happened? And you want to tell me this is not within us? The only person that's going to be able to eliminate corruption in Liberia is us, Liberia. Let me go on. So he's feeling telling us that there's a certain area in Liberia that was neglected by the government. Area in greater need of urgent attention. Okay, but here's the part that is confusing now. Listen to this. We shall continue. Let me read that again. I want you to connect them. I want you to connect both of them. Please help me out. We shall continue to dedicate our services to the welfare of all the people, especially the less fortunate. I told you to underline that word. Less fortunate. Now let's go on. Here's the confusion. Because of the inadequacy of means at the disposal of government to meet our basic national development requirements, we have called upon all the people to cultivate spirit of entrepreneurship and self-help. Now, you see this? Toba is speaking both sides of his mouth. There's no question asked. One meaning, he recognized less fortunate majority. Another meaning, he's asking the same majority that are less fortunate to help themselves. How are they going to help themselves? They got nothing. Why aren't you asking the elite to invest into these people? Why not? These are all Liberians as well. Everything Liberia is either Kepamas or Monrovia. That was it. Why aren't you asking the fortunate Liberian, the few, the minority fortunate Liberia to help the majority less fortunate Liberia for them to move everybody up? Toba couldn't do it. We know these things. Yeah, I was young. But one of the blessings God did for me when I came to being, running around in Monrovia, when my eye opened a little bit, my eye opened with one lady called Dr. Bertha Baker Exanko, former Deputy Minister of Development at the Ministry of Education, Research Development. Dr. Bertha Baker Exanko. People who used to be under her, Oliver Gonda used to be under her. Dr. George Bole used to be under her. So those were smart Liberians, smart young Liberians. And so she was showing me things, opening my eyes, things that I have no knowledge of. Sometimes she would send me, they have a library closer by E.J. Raw on Atmos Street. She would send me there and give me the list of book, Liberian history, something that people used to read back in the 20s. She would tell me, go over there and go read this passage, and then come back and tell me. And I would go over there. That was the first place that I read about Sidestown War. So she wasn't hiding anything from me. Nothing. In fact, I'll tell you this other story. There's another lady that used to be at the Ministry of Education, Richard Henry's wife. I think her name was Dory Banks Henry. She used to be on the third floor. And then another lady called Badio. They're all friends. But when they come to Madam Zanko office, she will call me. And this lady would, they all come with me. But they will start telling me things. How this country needed to be improved. How they have not done a good job of bringing people on board. And then sometimes they will start arguing among themselves. I remember hearing Doris Bank Henry's one time say, yeah, but even if you bring these people on board, I was saying that. Even if you bring some of these people on board, then as soon as they get the education, then they act like they're more Congo than some of us. True story, folks. True story. I'm not making it up. But the idea here is she opened the door for me. So let's go back to this. So these are kinds of stuff because I know about these things. So when Toba make this kinds of statement to say that people who he considered less fortunate now asking them to help themselves, asking these people to help themselves, how are they going to help themselves? Okay, themselves can provide remarkable change and improvement in their general well-being. Listen to it. This is trouble that the people kick out of the government, overthrew him. He's telling the people here, if you work on your own, your life will be improved. But what he was not telling us is that certain member in his society, certain member in his elite group was sending their kids here in the United States to study. And that particular, because of the corrupt behavior, you can't hold one person responsible for the corrupt behavior in Liberia. Far from it. If you do that, then you're not being sincere, and then you're not serious anyway. Okay? I'm taking you back to 1974 speech by Towa. Okay? So I'm doing this to say the corrupt behavior in Liberia, it didn't just come overnight. We, the Liberians, going to have to do that. I'll do more, but for now, let's put this aside. The point here is this. Since Dr. Weah came to power, young Liberians have taken to airway platforms such as this. They have their own platform, but they have divided. There are those who believe that Dr. Weah is incapable of performing a job of a president. There are those who believe that these people who saying this to Dr. Weah don't even worth anything to listen to. They have no place in Liberia. And so the divide among these two groups has gotten wider. Other people find the opportunity to jump in the divide with a different way of behaving, insulting other Liberians, cussing, serious cussing. What is missing in between is dialogue of how we fix these things. Those who are supporting Dr. Weah, they are not dumb, they're smart. And they clearly recognize that there's issues. But because those who are attacking Dr. Weah and his government, these people are saying, no, let's put the issue, the fact that we have issue, we're not even going to discuss it. Let's defend the government from these enemy of the state. As a result, those that are there to seek their own interest, having realized that these people are going at each other without even recognizing what was happening in Liberia, how to discuss the Liberian issue, these people find out, oh, good. So they decided to take whatever that comes to them. It's all about their interest. Yeah, you'll fight among yourself. But in the meantime, Whatever little thing comes to my way, I'll build my houses. I'll do what I can. You fight among yourself. You curse each other. Good. People holding on to that, defending, no matter what, that we can never do any wrong. And there are those who truly believe there is no way this young man should be president of the Republic of Liberia, the country that I love. This man cannot be, because he's not he doesn't have the fortitude to be president of the Republic of Liberia. Therefore, he cannot, and I will not accept. And you have these two groups fighting. In the process, the ideas of helping, trying to resolve. And here's the interesting thing about most of the people that are involved in this group. Highly educated. Some of them are very specialized. Areas that can benefit Liberia. But when they're doing these arguments, they're not even presenting themselves as being expert in this area. They present themselves to be for or against. And the government itself, there are certain people within the government that present themselves as well as though no matter what, we will rule. Whether you like it or not, we will rule. Without recognizing that this is an entity, an institution that is not built correctly, an institution that does not have the structure to actually perform as a government. They don't recognize that. And the sad thing, once again, these people, every one of these people are highly educated. They have gone to training, policy writers, economists, engineers, doctors. They're all involved. But when they're coming to that, their battlefront, they don't even wear their garment of expertise, whatever area they have. They don't even do that. They come in ready to fight. And some of them coming in with not taking prisoner. They will cuss 1 hour straight. No taking phone call, no argument, nobody, no counterpoint. Just cussing and cussing and cussing. 1 hour straight. And there are those who will take on the airway, defend the government. No matter what. Even if you try to point out something to them, they're not listening. So folks, think about it. With all the energy that is being wasted on a fruitless argument, how much would it take us to actually build some relationship across the divide? Bring these people, and they're very good talkers. They're good talkers. Why can't they be the salespeople for the Republic of Liberia in the diaspora? Sell our story. Sell to the international community that we don't have certain things. Since you know how to talk, don't cuss at each other. If the government is doing something, those who are criticizing the government, you have to recognize that they are citizens of the Republic of Liberia and they do have the right to criticize. Some of us, like me, I'm not comfortable with some of the languages that I use to criticize the government. I won't do that. And that's why when I open my show, I always show that the president of the Republic of Liberia is Dr. Weah. And I respect him. And I will respect his position. Because he was elected, duly elected, by the people of the Republic of Liberia. That does not negate the fact that I have opinion to express. If I'm going to be expressing my opinion, I must be responsible in my pronouncement as I express those opinions. I can't just come and make some reckless statement because I have the right to do so. Where's the fix? Where's the fix? Some of them will be on air and they speak well. They will be on air for 2 hours defending, castigating, defending, cursing, defend everything you can think of. How is that supposed to help us? How is that supposed to help us? Yes, well, you don't know, my brothers and sisters. You're getting older. The age is creeping on you. If you don't lay the foundation now, if you guys, the intelligent, the intellectual Liberian, young Liberian, sophisticated, highly educated, if you guys don't put yourself together to work together and try to find a solution to the Liberian age-old problem, it's going to be repeating over and over. You take Dr. Weir from there and put Henry Costa there tonight, the problem there. Henry Costa can't solve nothing. He ain't able. It's part of the root system. So how one person gonna fix it? You that are arguing, you that are fighting among yourself, you must recognize, first of all, that there is a problem. How do we fix it? How do we fix it? This is the difference between the young Liberian diaspora and the older Liberian diaspora, even though there were not that many at the time, but their commitment to find solution, their commitment to bring up issues to be discussed among themselves was higher. Every other month, people used to travel to Chicago, Philadelphia, on these little conferences to have discussion among themselves. The sad thing was the government at the time were not listening. If the government was to actually get in partnership with the Liberian diaspora, things would have been better off, but they were not listening. Now you have a sympathetic ear, I hope. So if you not cussing those leaders back home and you want to truly find solution, I'm sure they will be willing to listen. But let's get back to the corruption. I will continue to do my best. Sometimes it's difficult because sometimes I just feel like I'm talking to empty ears. But no, there are some Liberian, young Liberian, that know what I'm saying is true. But the frustration level is among themselves as well. How do we get together? How do we get this thing fixed? Somebody gonna take the lead. Somebody must take the lead. The sad thing is this, and it's very sad. I mean, it's a very sad situation. We're in a situation as Liberian diaspora. We're in a situation that is very bad for our health and our way of life. You come in this country. Let me just lay it out for you, then I can move on to the other one here. You come in this country with nothing, practically nothing, except for dream. And you didn't know that you were going to be successful. But the one thing you have in you, that no matter what, only God has the power to take that away from you by calling you home. As long as God continues to provide this air you're breathing in, that stuff that is in you, the Liberian culture, to work and be successful, it's always there. It's always been a burning issue in you. Every one of you, you come here, the first thing you want to do is to educate yourself. Educate yourself. And this particular idea of educating yourself is much more pervasive in this generation, this young Liberians. It's all over. When I was here, football and yo-yo-yo, wagawa, that was my thing. We want school. But the young Liberian nowadays, school. That's it. They want as many degrees as they can get. Whereas my time, I want as many as I can get. I can't go that far. I don't know why sleeping or not. So I can't go that far. But anyway. But the point that I'm making is this. As long as you have that fire burning in you, you will always be successful. Think about it. When you got here, most of you used to stay in people's basement. Most of you used to sleep in people's couches in the living room because you just got here. But with those kinds of things, the fire was burning. And when you have the opportunity to go to school, you come from way inside Grange there, 80, 90, 105 degrees. Then you come here, out of a sudden, it starts snowing. But you put on your snow, whatever you can find, put it on, and you go like this. Going to school, when you go to class, blowing your fingers, and you study at night, still cold. Because the people who own the house, they turn their temperature down because they thermostat down because they got to pay heat. They're not because of you, they're going to run their heat up. But still you stay up and steady. And some of you, not only you do that, you say, okay, I got my foot in the door, let me go to work. And you're working at night. Whatever little break you have, you're steady to get this thing you want. They call degree. Mind you, with all the struggling you're doing, there's nothing guaranteed. But that didn't stop you. You were pushing yourself. Your man not here, your partner here. Who will push you? You push yourself. How do you push yourself? You're thinking about back home. If I'm successful, the first thing you think about, and any of us, every one of us have gone through that. The first thing, if your mom is alive, that's a big time push for it. Once I get successful, the first thing I'll buy my mom, one thing. In fact, I sent my mom something for her to eat her food. The other day, I heard she went to somebody's house to eat. That I will not stay here for my mom to go through. You see where I'm going with this? Which one of you among us that don't have these kinds of things in mind growing up, or not even growing up, but here in the United States? Sometimes at night you cry because you're taking too long. People are calling you, mom calling you, sister calling you. Mama, we need this. Then you tell them, hey, yeah, but you're way small. Let me get my degree. Every one of us. And when you finish getting all these things, let me get to the point then. After you got all your degree and everything else, you find a job. You're working. And this country has been good to us. And that's why some of us, when we do this engineering job for them, going to these different places, or flying over the treetop airplane, things like that, I don't regret it because this country has been good to us. And so whatever that I can do also to improve, that's fine. But that improving idea, that could benefit Liberia as well. So you get your job working, but at the back of your mind, Liberia is there. And that's the frustrating part. And so you see young people, like Dr. Weah, his people, coming into power. You as a young man, you say, okay, well, this most likely this is going to be the opportunity. Because they will see, they themselves have gone through the same process. They will see, they will open it up so that some of us will go and contribute, not necessarily working for the government, but open avenue for us to go and start businesses and things like that. And when the people come in, well, look, they close the door. Your frustration level gone up. And if you have an opportunity to go on social media, you express yourself with all the frustration. That's understandable. But I think those energy can be harnessed more and pound them together with the nucleus in there, in our little face pounding stuff. The nucleus there. So that when you get to Liberia, development. But it has to start from here. find like-minded people. People who will be able to work with you as young as you are. And you can be able to do better. Other than that, this criticizing government, they're not just not business. Since some of us been here, since 19 we've been criticizing, we still criticizing you. One government come over, they repeat the same thing. Then you start all over. Another government come up, when they come in during the election, they say, oh, I will be different. I'm not going to do that kind of thing. Why would I want to look at my people to go through this thing here? They come to power, everything start all over. The frustration level to this young, sophisticated Liberian, highly educated Liberian. They don't mind working here, they're making good living here. But most of them rather go home and help. Not necessary for the government jobs, but the opportunity must be there. But you go ahead and ship something from here to Liberia. Say you want to build, or say you want to open a business. The tariff, the amount of money you're going to pay. And those things are on the book. Those are law. They're not, the people are they're not making it up. Those are law Liberian legislation put in place to help them generate revenue. I don't know what the revenue going. I don't know that. But I'm not going to touch that. So when you ship, by the time you get the thing from the airport to even sell, you're not even going to make no profit. You come back here and say, forget it. If they want fasting, I will send them fasting. But that kind of, I'm not going to, you take most of your earning, invest in that kinds of venture. The venture goes out when you go to get, by the time you look, you got nothing. What's the purpose? What's the reason? The government itself, instead of understanding that we need to open up for the young Liberian diaspora to bring goods in this country, that will also improve the lives of many Liberians. As a result, they most likely will not be dependent on so many family members who are working in the government, and in order to feed this extended family, they're going to have to take something that don't belong to them. Corruption in us. Corruption in us. Which one of you will be working in the government and neglect your sister kids? Which one of you that are going to be working in the government and neglect your brother kids? Which one of you that are going to be working in the government? Because there's not many private businesses in Liberia. And if you're lucky to work for the government, which one of you will not want to take extra just so that you will support extended family? Because that's who we are. We're not going to deny it. These are corrupt behavior. And it's hurting all of us. It's not going to stop until we confront it. And in the process of confronting this dangerous disease, people are going to get hurt. People are going to have to go to jail. Even if it means Samson told going to jail, let him go to, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me, put me to jail, send me in to Bella Yara, reopen Bella Yara. But this time, don't call it Bella Yara, call it Bella Corrupt. Only corrupt cases, people who are guilty of corruption and are in Bella Corrupt. But on a very serious note, we're going to have to confront it. If you don't do that, it's still going to be. Take for example, you work for the government or even a private industry. They give you a car. Few minutes start using the car for your own private business. Is that correct? No. Our people don't see anything wrong with that. The car is there and I needed to use it, I will use it because it's in my care. Forgetting to know the car was given to you for a specific purpose. Once you deprive, once you deviate from that purpose, it's corrupt behavior. Corruption. Corruption. Look at the area. Folks, this is a very bad thing for us. Look at Do River. Look at the wetland. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Look at the wetland. Look at the Do River. If those places were clean, riverfront building, millions of dollars could have been spent to build decent houses at the riverfront where you'll be able to put your boat. There are Liberians in this country that have the ability to build those kinds of houses in Liberia in slipway and be able to have a boat. Which one of us that don't want to enjoy ourselves back home? Which one? When you go and start something like this, what time you will clean all the cacao in slipway first of all, and make the people to understand the importance of the riverfront to be clean. Why can't we do those things every day? As soon as they go to LU, and you sometimes do the head count. How many LU students are coming out from the science, math, and other technical area? How many students? And how many students coming out with political science degree? How many students coming out with economic degree? And even in their Palava house at LU, you go count, do head count. What I say again? This is our time. We're going blah, blah, blah. Yes, so what are they getting? These are people that are going to fill another government tomorrow, fill these positions because they can talk. Can they produce? How are we going to get out of this? This hole we're in. The international community can help us and give us money over and over and over and over. We're not moving nowhere until we recognize that corruption is hurting us. Somebody got to stand up. Somebody got to stand up. At least we're past the stage of having a one-party system. Quasi one-party system is done. But you have the executive that is in control of the legislature and the judiciary. Since when? Why is that? It's supposed to be three branches of government. Check and balance. But for Chima, you able to say no to Dr. Weah? Or Senate Pro Temp Chair, Abba Chair, able to say no to Dr. Weah? Then what is the reason? What are we doing? When these people going to speak up for us? I'm not talking about trying to block the progress of Dr. Weah, but he must be challenged. Because if you challenge him, you're not trying to degrade him, but you're making him stronger. Because he's going to have to defend some of the policy. He's going to send some of these young people to you guys to defend these policy. When was the last time we have some serious hearing? Serious hearing. Where you have people coming in for and against certain policy. And you have a debate, pretty much like a debate. 2 days hearing, straight. When? And you think we're going to get out of this? It's very interesting. Very interesting. But let me go on. Let me try to prepare you, folks. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. This coming Friday, I will do what I call Trial of Henry Formula. And please, if you want to join me, I will ask you to do a Google search on the Trial of Henry Formula, okay, by Victor D. Du Bois. And you will find it. So because I want you to go along with me, it's going to be an interesting subject matter. The reason, once again, let me try to define why I'm doing this. Reason here twofold. One, for me, I enjoy reading these things, and I want to share that with you. But second, there are other brothers and sisters that was not even born at that time anyway, let alone able to pick up something to read these things. These things are not taught in Liberian history. You can't get it until most likely you get out of the country. Okay, so I just want to follow that and see how far we go with it. Okay, it's going to be very interesting. Going to be very interesting. But corruption in Liberia is not just not business. No, it's been going on for months and years and years, years and years. Like I said, I grew up in the street of Monrovia. And let me give you some more story about Monrovia Street. Some of the stories that I know about Monrovia Street. When I started, I didn't just start working with the Ministry of Education from Total. No, far from it. I'm a grown-up boy. But I never stole people anything, nothing. It ain't belong to me. I don't want it. Except if that, you know who. Okay? But when I came, things were rough. So what did I said, okay, first thing I want to do is I want to see what the city looked like. I didn't want to wash car. I don't like washing car business. I don't like that. But my father used to fix watches and fix radios and things that. So I know I'm very good with my fingers. I can do those things. So I asked a guy, the guy who was helping me. I was pretty much stay with him, but he was just like a brother. In fact, his brother-in-law, I saw his brother-in-law here a few minutes ago, Mr. Boer. Mr. Boer was here, Imaya Boer. That's this guy, brother-in-law. And he was very helpful for me. He was friend with my own biological brother. But my biological brother and I, we didn't get along. So this guy and myself was very good friend. So he decided, okay, well, why don't we, you know those little booth they used to have on Waterside, down Waterside? Yeah, I had one of those. I think it was the corner of I'm not too sure, Macon Street and Water Street, something like that. Anyway. But anyway, I used to fix washes. It wasn't for long. I was there for maybe 1 or 2 months. But I didn't like the condition